I can't believe that I am almost at the end of this beautiful journal, which has been a project of looking back over the last 50 years of my life and putting it into my journal each month. And I am now able to show you the final month of the journal, which will be June. I'm Ruby from the Useful Journal. I do journal reviews like I did of this one. This is a Coco and Lynn journal. It has 100% recycled paper, which has performed beautifully. I haven't had any ghosting or bleed issues. The paper has been wonderful. I can't believe that it is 100% recycled paper. I also share ideas on how to improve your journaling and get more out of it. And I also share my creative little projects like this one. And I love talking about washi tape. And I've used washi tape again this month, only in a kind of decorative way, not in an artistic way. Let me show you. I'll go back a bit and explain. So each month I covered 10 years of my life. You'll see baby photos here. That's because in January I did the ages 0 to 10. Then in February I did the ages 10 to 20. And then in May I turned 50, and so I covered my age from 40 to 50, all the things I did in those years. I decided that June would kind of frame where I see my life going in the future. I want to travel. I have already been to 43 countries. I've lived overseas, but I desperately want to go back to some of those countries again, and I want to go to new ones. My travel-themed June used a range of materials. The only page I have watercolour on is my title page. So my title page, I did a little bit of a Dutch door thing here with some ticket coloured paper behind it. And I painted a plane on watercolour paper actually, and then cut that out, fussy cut around my painting to stick over a backing paper. And that backing paper I've then cut around the shape of the plane so it kind of looks like it's flying over my tickets. So I'm really happy with that. So let me show you a few of the materials I've used for June. Obviously the watercolour paints, I won't show you those. They are just Winsor & Newton professional grade watercolour paints. The paper is just Canson student level paper. I didn't go fancy because it's just going in my journal. Then the backing paper is from a little paper pad that I got from like a department store kind of thing in Australia. It just has a range of coloured papers in it. It's quite good to keep an eye out on this sort of thing from places that sell scrapbooking materials. This is definitely scrapbooking weight. Scrapbooking weight papers tend to be a little bit heavier, which isn't great for the journal because it does make it bulkier, but they are very good quality usually. So I use that as my backing papers. I also used this pad, which I got from some journal supplies store. I can't remember which one. It was a long time ago, and that just has different types of papers you can use for collage layouts. So they're the two papers, and then I don't think there were any other papers in here. Then I stamped the letters. Now, I haven't used this kind of stamp before, and I am in love. So this is from Tim Holtz. So Tim Holtz has a huge range of stamps and things like that, inks and whatever else. If you've looked at any of this kind of stuff, you would know you would have heard of Tim Holtz. Now, I have no idea if I'm saying his name right, but what is special about these, because normally your stamps come on like acrylic plastic, these are actually foam. They've got a sticky side, and the sticky side, now this is my acrylic blocks that I use for stamping. So you get an acrylic block. I've got a few different sizes here. I use this one. They have lines on them to help you line up your stamps straight when you're doing words. And you just stick that on, and I can add all the other stamps, and then I can add my inks. But what I have to say about these foam stamps compared to the normal acrylic stamps that I use is they are so much better. Because they're spongy, you can push them into your paper to really get the ink on the page, and you'll see that I've got beautiful impressions from all my stamps. You can push it in, get a proper impression on the page without then accidentally pressing the area around the stamp onto the page. So you get a much cleaner stamp, and I really like it. I am so happy with these. So now I'm going to look for more foam stamps. I am converted. A while back, I did a video about inks that you use in your journals. I've had a lot of problems in the past, and I often talk about it in my pen tests, in my journal reviews, because I always test stamp pad ink, and in this one it's Distress ink for some reason. Normally it's just a black stamp pad ink, a Ranger ink, and then I always colour in a little bit of the stamp with calligraphy ink. And hasn't been a problem in this one, but I often get show through. I've had so many issues with stamping inks. So I have started using these Versamagic stamp inks because they are chalk ink. And the chalk ink, I don't know what it is about it. It tends to sit on the surface more. Now it does have that kind of chalky finish. I'm really happy with them. Good range of colours. So this is my recommendation. If you've had trouble with inks going through your page, my experience of these chalk inks is that they always sit on the surface of your page. So that is my tip of the day, along with the foam stamps. Very happy with the stamping in this month. Now, stamp inks, then what else have we got? We had washi tapes. Now this is I mainly only used a couple. There's this one, which was a floral pattern with gold on it, and it had stamps for different Paris and places like that. I had this one, which is this washi tape, which is actually I realise most of the way doing these layouts, most of the way through, discovered that it was actually Santa airmail washi tape, but I don't care, it looks great. And there's a couple of other washi tapes that I used very minimally. So I used these gold foil stickers, and really I couldn't work out what they were meant to look like. I didn't like how they look on the page. You can see they're very solid gold foil. I've looked back at my information on my emails, like just what product it was, and discovered that it's actually a press-on. And I tried that down here and it didn't really work. And I think they've just maybe deteriorated with age. But you're meant to scratch the top, and it is coming off. They didn't stick very well. I was just like, what is wrong with these stickers? Why can't I get them to look good? But even when you do this, they don't really transfer. Like, look at that. It kind of has. But it looks a lot nicer than what it did with that thing on there. Like, this is the leftover plastic. Yeah, look, that's much better. There you go. That one looks good. And then finally I had, well, not finally, because there was one other thing. I had a sticker sheet that was Paris themed, just all little things on the sticker sheet that remind people of Paris, whether it's places like the Eiffel Tower or just cups of coffee or things like that. And then finally I did use I used these little stickers. Can't remember where I got them from, but I've got a whole set of stickers of different little girls and boys, and so I used them. So let's have a look. I start with my title page, as I said, and then I have beside that my monthly calendar, because I didn't want a title page that was 2 pages, so I made the most of it and put my calendar here. I then have my task tracker and my mood tracker, and I am sticking with the mood layout that I did in May, which was using different words and showing whether they were up or down along with just a number measure. I was in a better mood this month. There's a lot more 4s than usual, which was good. Hey, it was my birthday. It had to be good. So I'm going to do that again. You'll see here, just to show where this page ends before this one starts, I have done a washi tape just to give it a little bit of an edge. And what I've done, which I often do when I'm doing these Dutch doors, is I remember to do a background for when the Dutch door is that way and forget to do a background for when it's that way, and then it just looks a bit messy with that other page showing through. I always do that, and I thought I was over that and had it sorted, but I don't. So there you go, I got a mess, but it doesn't bother me too much, and at least I've got this outline here to break the pages apart. Then we move on to my sleep tracker, standard sleep tracker, my steps tracker, which is just tracking up to 10,000 or more steps. I've done a little bit of collage on the corners of pages with my papers and my stickers, just to fill in the space and make it a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Again, I just love how this lettering has worked, how the stamps worked. I then have my liquids tracker, aiming to get 6 glasses of water a day. One thing I'm really pleased about is this month, I've got to add in, I have got my notes for I was away from the 1st to the 4th. I went to Lady Elliot Island, which is on the Great Barrier Reef, and I put all my notes in here. So I have got those 4 pages that go here and notes for the beginning, but I just haven't transferred it yet. Obviously, it was my birthday weekend, so there is a few alcoholic drinks just here. I think I only had alcohol one day. I wasn't with people that were drinking a lot. But look at that, like all month. This is my non-sugar soda. So I've got a soda stream, so I make my own soft drink at home, and I might drink a Diet Coke or something when I'm out, something like that. This month, haven't done it. So I've just been drinking water and tea or coffee. So yeah, I've had my liquids tracker looks great for May. We'll see whether that continues. I've still got a few pages to fill in there, as you can see, for May, but we're on to June. Now, liquids tracker, my gratitude tracker, I just note something each day that I'm grateful for. Just more stickers and papers to kind of fill in the space and make it look nice. I think sometimes this kind of collage can just look a bit not put together, and I found when I was doing these pages that it didn't look put together when I just had the collage. It was once I added that big striking lettering that it really pulled it together. So really pleased. And the same with my journaling pages. So on my journaling pages, I do 5 days per double page spread, and it's just a diary. I don't use this journal for my rapid logging or keeping track of my day-to-day type stuff. I do have a task list in here, but the task list tends to be bigger things that I know I need to get done that month, but they're not assigned to particular days particularly or need to be done immediately kind of thing. That's in my daily rapid log that I keep in my interstitial journal, which you can look at if you look at my video on interstitial journaling. These are my diary pages, just simply keeping a note of the big things that happened each day. They might be things that are emotional or personal, or they might just be routine, just noting down, I did this or that. I saw this person, I went there. And that is because I have a shocking memory and I love having a journal to go back on that I can just go back and go, oh, okay, on the 22nd of April, I did that. It makes such a difference for me. So that's why it's just a diary. Sometimes people just need a diary. So my remaining pages, here's another different type of washi tape that I used. For some reason, I have all this washi tape and stickers that talk about Paris. I don't know why. It must be a thing that people love. There's Australia, very important, and that is the end of June. Now, finally, I have a 2-page spread because I am planning a holiday to Norway and Scotland. So, yeah, it's just going to be a few planning notes in there. And then I've literally only got 3 double-page spreads. So I will be doing a spread to celebrate getting monetized on YouTube. I will have a reflection on January to June 2025 because I like to do that, just kind of pull together all the main themes I've covered in the journal. I am using Monteverdi Scotch Brown fountain pen ink, and I am using it in my Pelikan 600 pen, which is one of the most beautiful pens I own and just writes beautifully. I think this is one of my favorite fountain pens. I now have about 12 fountain pens, I think. I have 3 of these, which is the Pilot Prera, which is an absolute fantastic workhorse pen, and that's what I've used mostly in this journal. But I just felt like finishing off with my Pelikan because it is just such a beautiful writer. So that is June. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're inspired to go and try out some new stamps because I'm going to be looking for more. And you will soon see me because I am going to have to set up my next journal for the second half of the year, and I'll be sharing with you how that turns out. So I will see you soon with my next journal. See ya.